Let's talk about integrity for a second. Being a Marine, integrity is something hardwired into my DNA, and it's something I almost do instinctively or even talk about instinctively because I only know one way because of how it's hardwired into me. But it's often not a word used within our society, and I think we can see a lot of the results within our society where integrity is really falling apart. Now, there's a couple different ways that you could look at integrity. There's structural integrity, which essentially means how well is something built, how well is something holding together, how likely is it to hold together. And the two definitions I want to bring to you from the dictionary are the quality of being honest, having a strong moral principles and moral uprightness, or the second definition, the state of being whole and undivided. Now, I want to add a third definition. Now, this comes from my own definition and also from the different things that I've been hearing over the last few years. That within integrity is this root word of integer. And if we time travel back to mathematics, an integer is a whole number. And within mathematics, a whole number is unfractioned. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and up as many high as you go. And that integer, being a whole number, is undivided. It's a whole person. It's a whole number. And so when I think of living a life of integrity, I think about living a whole life, a life that is not divided. Because often when we think of integrity, I think there's a lot of men who are able to compartmentalize their integrity, that in one place they can have absolute integrity. And generally that's business. We're very good at it. But in other areas, it may be the businessman that has success, great family at home, but is having an affair on the side. And we've compartmentalized that. And to me, that's not living a whole life. You're only still living a fraction life, even though within that fraction, you're trying to appear whole. But people can generally see through that fractioned version of you. Whether you admit it or not, people are pretty smart and they can feel when someone's not being whole or truthful around them. So today is a call to action for how can you live a more whole life? How can you bring more of who you are into the light? Not hide from who you are, not hide your baggage, not hide from the things that you don't talk about at dinner parties, but to truly live your whole life in the light. Because as a subtopic within this, if you have a part of your past that you've never revealed, or a struggle that you've never admitted, a certain component of that is still in your shadows. Now, if it's in the shadows, you can't fully be whole because there's a part of you that's missing because you can't see it. And so part of me and my mission in my own life is to live a whole life fully in the shadows. Now, I did not get this right, even though I was wired for integrity from the Marine Corps. And I was wired that even though no one's looking, you still got to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's still a hard battle. What I'm asking you to do is not easy. And it has not been easy in my own life either. That through this journey of creating a whole life, this is where you will be able to grow and be a better husband, dad, and in general, human being. So again, I ask you, where are you not living a whole life? And how can you take a step today to come back together and be that whole person, to live a life of integrity? And I'll be back again with you on Monday.